Hello there! It is about a glorious summer's day outside, but before I get out, I'm going to review a movie for you. And that movie is Hot Tub Time Machine. Yes, that's right, Hot Tub Time Machine. Now I've been to the cinema quite a couple of times recently, knowing me, and I saw Cop Out the other day. I'd advise you cop out of that one. Bad joke. Anyway, but that movie itself was a bit so-so, but it was typical cheesy slapstick comedy and such. And Tracy Morgan's character did get annoying. But moving on from that, but for Cop Out I'll probably give 3 out of 5 because it was somewhat funny. Anyway, I went to see Hot Tub Time Machine the other day, and it was something you'll have to find out in this review. So let's get into the plot of this film. Now, Hot Tub Time Machine, now this has a pretty original concept. I've not heard of this plot before. To anyone, comment below and tell me if there's any other plot like this, because I probably will have been. Anyway, 3 guys, one of which has a nephew. They've been out of contact for some time. One of them supposedly tries to kill themselves, even though he denies it. And then they decide to go, hey, I'll give an idea. Let's go on a vacation. Let's go to a nice resort hotel in the middle of, oh, I don't know, Atlantis or something. Just random. And hey, look at this, guys. They have a hot tub. Let's go inside. Hey, what's this weird feeling? Now we're in 1986. So basically they go back through time via hot tub. So let's get into the review itself, the pros about the film. Now the acting is pretty stellar here. It's pretty got a high pitch for it. Okay, now the only actor I know is John Cusack. But in itself, he did a pretty worthy performance. The only other film I remember seeing him in is 2012, directed by recent Roland Emmerich. And he does a fantastic job with the character here, because all the elements and the comedy and the emotional sides of his character are blended so well on screen. And not to mention, it's the same for all the other characters and actors. So kudos to that. The acting is pretty top-notch here. So I praise the actors for that. Okay, moving on from that. Other pros I absolutely loved about Hot Tub Time Machine, as you may have guessed. I actually like this film. Strange. And now, I'm going to forget 500 Days of Summer ever existed, because that was not funny. Not funny. And this movie was hilarious. This is probably the best comedy experience I've had all year. There's not been a single movie, maybe with the exception of Kick-Ass, who's come as nearly as funny to be as this. Some of the gags and the humour actually worked for a change. You know, they didn't just fall flat on their face like some other movies have done. You know, and also the comedy itself was pretty well timed, and it was in the right situations, and it was fucking original. Excuse my language. Although I can't say freaking. Anyway, it is original comedy. It has the concept is brilliantly well done. Cinematography and special effects shots, editing and stuff, all of that is done terrifically, without a fault whatever. But anyway, back to the comedy though. Some of it really did make me laugh my ass off. There's one scene, well, let's just say it involves blowjobs, and you'll know what I mean when you come to it. But I know this is a bit late of a review for Hot Tub Time Machine, but if you have a chance to see it in any cinema near you, I highly recommend you go out and see it. If you like a comedy, but not afraid to see some strong sex references, then I think you'll enjoy Hot Tub Time Machine, but I can't guarantee it. Other pros about the film, the pacing of the film and, you know, and whatnot, that wasn't too well done actually, I'll admit, but I'll get into that in the cons. But the pacing, you know, it still kept it at a good enough pace for me to understand what was going on. And the last thing I loved about Hot Tub Time Machine, apart from actually the script, which was pretty well done as well, is that it had fun with this is something that I felt Iron Man 2 should have done a little bit more, though I still love that film. That's probably the best this year so far. But what I loved about Hot Tub Time Machine was how it knew it was not going to take itself too seriously, and it just went along and had a roller coaster ride, and it was fun. And it was certainly fun for the audience watching it. Like I say, this is probably the best comedy experience I've had all year. But this film is not without its fault. There's only really one fault I can think of I have. So let's get into the single con. I mentioned that the pacing wasn't too good, and I'll stand by that statement, but I will admit that the pacing itself did feel somewhat off, particularly in the middle section, or it did take a little while to kick in gear. But believe me, once it does, you're going to have well, I can't guarantee it, but I had an amazing experience, an absolutely laugh out loud experience with this. And a bit of advice for you, if you've broken up with a girlfriend in the past, just go back in Hot Tub Time Machine. But it depends if you want to relive that whole event again. Overall, Hot Tub Time Machine is the best comedy, as I've said about a million times in this review, best comedy I've seen all year. I laughed my ass off during it, and I'm going to easily give it 4.5 stars out of 5. That pacing was that little fault. So until next time, YouTube, unless I reverse back in time and do this review again in a hot tub, I'm signing out.